The nervous system allows the body to react to the continuous changes that occur in the environment and in the internal environment. Also controls and integrates the activities of the organism such as circulation and breathing. For descriptive purposes, the nervous system is divided structurally in the central nervous system, composed by encephalic and spinal cord and peripheral nervous system, which comprises the rest of the nervous system, and functionally in the somatic nervous system and autonomic nervous system. The nervous tissue is composed by neurons and neuroglial. Neurons are the structural and functional units of the nervous system. A neuron is composed by a cell body, dendrites, and an axon. Myelin forms a myelin sheath around some axons. This increases the speed of driving impulses. Mainly, we find two types of neurons, multipolar and pseudomonopolar. Neurons communicate with each other at the synapses. This communication is through neurotransmitters. Neuroglial cells are 5 times more abundant than neurons. They fulfill the function of supporting, isolating, and nourishing neurons. These are the neuroglial cells. Central nervous system. It consists of the encephalon and the spinal cord. Its main functions are to integrate and coordinate the input and output nerve signals and to carry out the higher mental functions. A nucleus is an accumulation of neuron bodies in the central nervous system. A bundle of axons that connects nuclei is a tract. The encephalon and the spinal cord are composed of gray and white matter. The bodies of neurons make up the gray matter and the tract systems from the white matter. In the cross sections of the spinal cord, the gray substance presents a similar shape to an H surrounded by white matter. Also, we find the anterior and posterior horns. 3 membranous layers constitute the meninges, pia mater, arachnoid, and dura mater. The meninges and cerebrospinal fluid surround and protect the central nervous system. The peripheral nervous system is composed by nerve fibers and cell bodies located outside the central nervous system, which drive the impulses to or from it. A nerve fiber consists of an axon, its neurolemma, and the surrounding endoneural connective tissue. The neurolemma is formed by the membrane of the Schwann cells, which immediately surrounds the axon and separates it from other axons. There are 2 types of neurolemma. The neurolemma of myelinated nerve fibers consists of Schwann cells specific to a certain axon. The neurolemma of the amylinic nerve fibers is formed by Schwann cells that do not compose an apparent series. There are multiple axons included separately in the cytoplasm of each cell. These Schwann cells do not produce myelin. Most of the nerves in the skin are amyelinic. A nerve consists of a bundle of nerve fibers, the connective tissue that sheets the surround and join nerve fibers and fascicles, and the blood vessels that nourish the nerve fibers. The layers of a nerve are endoneurium, perineurium, and epineurium. A set of neuronal bodies outside the central nervous system is a ganglion. Types of nerves. There are 2 types of fibers, sensitive and motor. The sensitive fibers carry the nerve impulses to the central nervous system, coming from the sense organs, for example, the eye, and from the receptors of various parts of the body, for example, the skin. The motor fibers drive the nerve impulses from the central nervous system to the effector organs, for example, muscles and glands. The nerves are divided into cranial or spinal. The cranial nerves exit the cranial cavity through holes in the skull and are identified by the descriptive name, for example, trochlear nerve or by a Roman number. Only 11 of the 12 pairs of the cranial nerves originate from the encephalon. The remaining part arises from the upper part of the spinal cord. The spinal nerves exit the spine through the intervertebral hole. They arise in bilateral pairs in artery 1 and are identified by a letter and a number, for example, T4. The letter designates the region of the spinal cord: C. cervical, T. thoracic, L. lumbar, S. sacral, CO. coccygeal, and the number determines the order. Spinal nerves. The spinal nerves begin in the spinal cord in the form of root fillets that converge to form two roots, an anterior and a posterior. The anterior root is composed by motor fibers that travel from the bodies of the neurons of the anterior horn of the medullary gray matter to the peripheral effector organs. The posterior nervous root is formed by afferent sensory fibers from the cell bodies in the sensory ganglia of the spinal nerves, or the posterior root that extend peripherally to the sensory endings and centrally to the posterior horn of the medullary gray matter. The anterior and posterior roots join within the intervertebral foramen to form a mixed spinal nerve that divides immediately into two branches, a posterior branch and an anterior branch. The unilateral area of muscle mass that receives innervation from the fibers of a spinal nerve is a myotome. The unilateral area of skin innervated by the sensory fibers of a spinal nerve is called a dermatome. Cranial nerves. When they are emerging from the central nervous system, some cranial nerves carry only sensory fibers, others only carry motor fibers, and others carry a mixture of both types of fibers. Somatic nervous system. The somatic nervous system is composed by somatic portions of the central nervous system and the peripheral nervous system. It provides sensory and motor innervation to all parts of the body, except the viscera, the smooth muscle, and the glands. The sensitive somatic system transmits the sensations of pain, temperature, and position from the sensitive receptors. The somatic motor system innervates only the skeletal muscles. Autonomic nervous system. The autonomic nervous system is composed by motor fibers that stimulate the smooth muscle, the cardiac muscle, and the glandular cells. The nerve fibers and ganglia of the autonomic nervous system are organized in two systems, the sympathetic or thoracolumbar division and the parasympathetic or craniosacral division. Unlike the somatic innervation, in both divisions of the autonomic nervous system, a series of two neurons intervenes to drive the impulses from the central nervous system to the effector organ. The body of the first presynaptic neuron is located in the gray matter of the central nervous system, and its fiber establishes synapses only in the body of a postsynaptic neuron, the second neuron of the series. Thank you for your attention.